Hello everyone, this is Given Metal 12668 with another Minecraft video. And this one is going to be a bit different because I need to show you guys something and tell you guys what it's really like to do redstone. So, first of all, redstone, it's not exactly easy, and sometimes it takes a long time. Like, I spent all day on this, plus rewiring this because it broke. I still don't know why it broke, but it broke. But I spent all day just working on this, which is just a fancy block swapper. Which might not sound like a lot, but some days you have one of those days where you build something super complicated that doesn't need to be that complicated, or take forever to make something. That's alright. That's okay. That's a part of doing anything, really. But especially redstone. So, I'm also going to be sharing some tips today on how to do redstone and how to keep doing whatever project you may have. So, first tip of redstone, okay? You want to make a build like this. Oop, wrong key. Sorry, it's dark in here. You want to make a build, okay, like this. And if it works, it works. Don't try to compact it unless that's your specific goal. Don't try to say, this is so slow. No, it's perfectly fine, especially if you're just beginning at redstone. If it's slow, then you just wait a bit longer. If you're on Java, just do the /tick command and speed up the game a bit. And it's sometimes the way it has to be, or the way it is. And if you're not okay with your build being slow, then I don't know what to say to you. Just don't do redstone, because that's a part of it. Another part of redstone is having a general idea, but making sure that that general idea is very, very vague, and that you have a big time space to work with. Like, I thought this build would be small, but then I needed memory, and I knew more than that, even. And that's that giant thing. So, if you think a build is going to be small with redstone, think again. Always, always, always do your redstone in creative first, unless you're doing it off of a tutorial. And even then, do it in creative first to make sure that it works. Because Minecraft is such a unique game, and there's so many quirks with it. I'm not calling them bugs, I'm calling them quirks, because that's exactly what they are in some cases. Especially with redstone, that you just never would notice. You never would notice that there's a billion different things that don't work for whatever reason. So if you want to create a general idea and give yourself infinite space by going into creative super flat, okay? And why do you want to create a general idea, you may ask? Well, that leads us into I have some serious issues with recording myself, apparently. But that leads us into tip number 2. It doesn't, you don't want to pre-plan, like, how you're going to do everything. You just want to know that you want to do something. And then you want to build it as you go and say, hey, I need X. For me, like I said before, it was memory. So I built that. Don't worry, I didn't hand place all that. There's going to be a tutorial later today on how to use structure blocks. That's a crucial part too. That's tip number 3. Use structure blocks. They're the most useful thing ever. Basically, you select an area, you select an identifier, just like Minecraft's items run. Like this block that I'm holding right here, redstone block, is called Minecraft redstone block, and it's the exact same way with structure blocks. You give it a size to work with, you give it an offset, so like if the structure block is here and it's a 1x1, just to capture the structure block itself, how many distances x should it move? And your x is your first coordinate. So if you tell it to move -1, it'll be here, because x subtracted 1 to get there. You can see that this is 74, this is 75, and that's negative, so we're subtracting. Okay? If you tell it -1 by the z, that will end up here. +1 by the z will end up there. +1 by the x will end up there. +1 by y will end up here. And -1 by y will end up here. And you can choose any numbers for that. And then you select your size, select a identifier. It has to have, the only requirements is that there's a first letter, and then a colon, and then a second letter. You can put as many, okay, let me rephrase that. The only requirements is that there's something, and then a colon, and then something else. As long as you have those, Minecraft will say, yeah, I'm good with saving that. And then you just hit save. And when you want to load it, you hit load and paste in whatever identifier you use, and then boom, there it is. If it doesn't work or isn't in the right direction, yeah, just don't. Just like, no, sorry, don't. Just don't. It's not correct. I've had a long day building that. What you want to do is you want to just tweak around with the settings and or look at my up and coming video that will be released later today, hopefully. Probably. I don't know. It's sorry for maybe. It'll be released either today or tomorrow. So check that out if you want more information on structure blocks and how they work. Tip number 3, never, ever, ever use the fill command. Half of the components in the game, I mean, you can use the fill command, just be careful with using it. Because half the components in the game, including observers, one of the most useful games components ever, just won't work when you apply them using the fill command. Using structure blocks will make them work, but using the fill command will not. They will fail if they use the fill command. Okay, it will half the time fail, and it's inconsistent too. So if you wanted to generate static, yeah, go ahead. Place in a bunch of observers and then try to update them all with some redstone stuff, right? That'll generate complete static if you have a copper bulb beneath them and then you above them or wherever. If you have hold up. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I hit my Windows key by accident. If you have a copper bulb beneath these or above these or wherever this red dot is, then you use the fill command to paste in the observers and then update all the observers and then remove them. You will end up with complete static. Literally. It looks so weird. It's complete randomness, which ones will work, which ones won't. So just try to avoid using it. It's inconsistent sometimes with redstone components. Fifth. Okay. I don't use the script for these. That's why I sound so awkward. Because you can't script Minecraft content. Even if it is informational Minecraft content, you can't script it. Fifth is if you have something that you want to build and it feels like it's taking forever, that's because it probably is. Did I recover this one? I don't know. Well, if I'm redundant, you guys can just skip a couple minutes ahead. So, if you have a problem where it feels like it's taking forever, that's because it probably is. Redstone is so time consuming. I feel like I already did this one, so I'm just going to, not do any more about that one. Sixth thing. If you find yourself quitting a redstone project often, just create a YouTube video and start uploading progress on your builds, on your different redstone builds. There. Start there. That's a... Oh no, Windows, what are you doing? I'll worry about that later. Windows is a huge pain. If I lost my... I just muted system settings. Whatever that was. Because I lost my train of thought. Oh, upload it to YouTube. Because if you have a viewer base, or fan base, or whatever they're called, right? And they're saying you're doing a good job, that's going to help you. And it's going to boost how much you're feeling. And it's going to boost your overall productivity on what you're doing on this game. And that's actually kind of the reason that I started this YouTube channel. Is because I couldn't finish any of my redstone projects. But the moment that I uploaded my RGB display, it's not like something just felt different. No, not at all. What happened is I had a viewership. Even if it wasn't, like, actually viewership. Anybody that stumbled along that would feel like it's incomplete. And I don't want that for anybody. I don't want somebody to feel like something's incomplete. So I had to finish it, you know? I mean, I didn't have to, but, you know, there's a much stronger reason to continue. So you, in most likelihood, will continue if you start uploading your results to YouTube. It doesn't even have to be good YouTube videos. If you look back at my first one from a month ago, which I know it's weird to be saying back when I just recorded that a month ago, the audio quality is the worst ever. Okay. But that's the thing. It just works that way. Sometimes Windows doesn't like your settings or whatever, and it decides to mess them up, or you don't know what you're doing. My advice, by the way, if you're doing this method, is to lower your microphone sensitivity, because, well, it'll pick up on random interference noise. Like, you could hear a bunch of different static going on that wasn't actually there in real life. It was the weirdest thing. But if you lower your microphone sensitivity, it won't pick up on that. Okay? So you want to do that. You want to record multiple videos doing tests of the audio setup that you have to make sure that it sounds good. Even if it's only like 5 minutes a day, which I would recommend, because you don't want to get yourself distracted from redstone. Which is why, if you're doing a YouTube video for that reason only, you don't want to do any editing. Editing takes so much time, and if the only reason that you're doing that is to encourage yourself to do some redstone, you don't want to distract yourself editing with doing some redstone, you know? Yeah, from doing some redstone with editing. And yeah, that's my top redstone tips. There will be a tutorial on the structure block coming out later today, hopefully. Maybe, probably not, because it's already 5:04 and I have a life and family and family members that, my brother and my mom and dad and want to spend time with me. And I can't just be here recording all day. So, but anyways, I hope you learned something from this. I hope that you go on to create something amazing in Minecraft with this redstone stuff. And I hope you are having / had / are having / anything else. Any other verbs that describe your day. A wonderful day. And good